A business is somewhere where if I had one employer, I have two more. So that means two extra people who are paying taxes to the government of Kenya because because my business is doing well. But you look at businesses today and we see a lot of people are being laid off because the economy is not doing well and running businesses is really difficult. So is it in terms of policy change that we see businesses don't grow, or what would be the reason why the economy is not growing as expected?
Yeah, and that for sure has been the main concern, because if you look at the 5 key pillars that this government has been trying to achieve, I mean, we look at 5 key thematic areas. One is agricultural transformation. And we would expect this to be a very high impact pillar, because we are seeing a very huge percentage or proportion of our economy is agricultural based. A lot of people, farmers, I mean, when you look at the people who are reliant on farming, whether directly or through indirect linkages, there are very many. We look at MSME economy. Again, we've said Kenya is an economy that is driven by SMEs. So again, if for instance, just focusing on these 2 thematic areas that the government has focused on and they are part of their key agendas, if there was clear policies and these policies were actually driving and giving people money, then we'd be expecting people to be enjoying. And I think one of the key things we've had is that circulation of money in this economy has not been very good. You can have a lot of projects maybe at the government is implementing, but the question is that leading into additional income into the pockets of people? And that's where the issue is, because the macros in this country are very good. I mean, if you talk to anyone in government, they'll tell you about the inflation, the exchange rate, everything is good. But when you go to the ground, and you speak to people there, I mean, the one issue that comes out clearly is that there is no circulation of money. Because then they are saying, I'm not able to get that, kibarua that I used to go to. Because the people in the city, because a lot of people in the urban area support a lot of people in the rural areas indirectly. Let's say you have a project out there, and you are sending money to, pay farmers and people who are supporting you. So people are not doing a lot of that. That is actually now being felt on the ground. So the circulation of money, one obviously is attributable to government not paying on time. Pending bills is an issue. Yeah. I mean, government is the single most consumer when you look at, if you compare individuals. So the fact that they don't paying on time indirectly
they're not paying at all, exactly. Would say.
That's an issue there. So because if you don't pay on time, that company is not able to pay the suppliers, and that becomes a ripple effect. So that in itself is the biggest issue, I would say. The thematic areas are in order, but we are not seeing that flowing down into the common man. Yeah.
Have we actually enacted zero-based budgeting in Kenya? Are we walking the talk?
Now, that's an interesting one, because I think since last year, the government has been talking of zero-based budgeting. But I think when you look at the current status, we are saying we are now having supplementary budget 1. Typically, in a perfect scenario of zero-based budgeting, you'd expect that by people, because people should have planned in advance. So if you're saying it's a Ministry of Defense, and I know it's one of the, what do you call it? Defense and the internal security. It's the biggest consumer, actually, the biggest beneficiary of the supplementary budget. We would have expected at the beginning of the year, if they actually went with a zero-based budgeting, there should have been proper budgeting, and we wouldn't be expecting an additional 300, 400 billion of additional expenditure being allocated just 2 or 3 months before the end of the financial year. So it doesn't seem to me that we actually implementing to the letter zero-based budgeting, because with that you should have actually come up with a proper plan. This is what I anticipate, and if there's any divergence, it should be very minimal, not a huge, because currently we are saying the current year's budget is 4.6 trillion, not the 4.3 we were talking about. So what do we expect in the upcoming year? Even with the 4.7, we will end up with 5-point-something trillion. So zero-based budgeting, for me, it's still not yet there.
Prof, address yourself to wastage. Address yourself to matters to do with the missed target